tragic ending in a missing persons case. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Thunder Bay Police have now made an arrest after a body was found in the city's south side on Saturday afternoon.
While police won't release the identity of the deceased, Anishinaabe Nation confirmed today that the body is that of 42-year-old Deborah Anishinaabe. Lake First Nation. Anishinaabe was reported missing on December 5th. City police, along with family members and community volunteers, conducted numerous searches in the area between her home and where she was last seen alive. Then on Saturday, a heavy police presence was set up in the area of McKellar and Finlayson Streets. Police would not say what that investigation was about. Then this afternoon, Anishinaabe Nation issued a media release confirming a tragic end to the search for the missing woman and mentioning that an arrest had been made. Thunder Bay Police issued an update soon after, saying that 24-year-old Levi Michael Lawson was arrested yesterday and charged with indignity to a human body. He remains in custody. Police were not available for an interview today, and there's no word on whether there are any other suspects in this case. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre made himself available today for a virtual interview with Dougal media reporters to discuss the turmoil within the Liberal Party. Poilievre again made his call for an early election.
Justin Trudeau has lost control of immigration, lost control of borders, lost control of spending, debt, inflation, housing prices, crime. He's lost control of everything, and now he's lost control of his own government with his top minister and closest friend leaving him and saying that his deficits are ruining our economy. All of this proves that we need an axe the tax election as soon as possible.
Poilievre went on to say his government wouldn't be bulldozed by the threat of tariffs from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. The Conservative leader was also questioned about his plan to scrap the Federal Housing Accelerator Fund. Poilievre's plan would take some of those dollars to eliminate the GST from sales of newly built homes costing less than $1 million. Mayor Ken Boshkov recently stated that the Accelerator Fund is the only reason Thunder Bay hit its housing targets this year. Poilievre doesn't believe the Liberal strategy is the best way to address the housing crisis.
So the more money you give municipal governments, the less homes are going to be built, because what they spend it on, no matter what they tell you and how they spin you, what they'll spend it on is bureaucrats that block home building with ultra slow permitting and with brutal red tape. So don't believe local politicians and bureaucrats. They're the ones who caused this problem. We need to cut them off and put the money in the hands of home builders and home buyers so that they can actually build the homes.
Poilievre also stressed his plan to axe the carbon tax.
The provincial government is providing over $18 million in funding for 3 hospitals in northwestern Ontario.
The funds are meant to support staffing and operations to help address financial pressures. Justin Hardy has this story.
Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Centre is receiving $14.8 million. St. Joseph's Care Group is receiving over $3 million, and Atikokan Health and Community Services is receiving $184,000. The funding represents an additional investment to each organization's base funding. Regional Hospital President Rhonda Crocker-Ellicott says the money will improve the hospital's stability and sustainability as it moves into the future.
This is exactly what we needed to really begin to balance our operations, and it's been something that we've been looking for a number of years, and we're very thankful of the commitment of this government to be able to support us and create us for a sustainable future as we move forward as we are a Regional Health Sciences Centre, and we're really looking to do more and more, be more transformational, and really respond to the patient and family needs across Northwestern Ontario.
The funding is intended to allow healthcare organizations to support and retain healthcare workers while improving access to care and meeting the health needs of the region. Thunder Bay Atikokan MPP Kevin Holland says he believes this funding is going to be monumental for the healthcare providers as they move forward.
What we're seeing happening today is a culmination of working with the 3 hospitals, our healthcare providers here in Thunder Bay Atikokan riding, and listening to what their unique challenges are, what their unique needs are, and being able to take that message back down to Minister Jones and really advocate on behalf of healthcare needs here in Northwestern Ontario. And I'm really grateful to be part of a government that recognizes that and is making those historic investments.
Holland adds that he continues to look for ways to benefit the region, and he believes that 2025 will be a good year for Thunder Bay and the surrounding region. Justin Hardy, TBT News.
A home along Highway 1117 near Chappaqua has been completely destroyed by a fire. Fortunately, no one was hurt, as the homeowner was apparently out of town when the blaze broke out. The fire call came in around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The home, located across the road from Finnmark Road's turnoff, was fully engulfed in flames when volunteer fire crews arrived. Kaministiquia Fire Chief Jack Drew says their firefighters received assistance from the Shabandawan Fire Department, but the home could not be saved. Crews were on scene until about 8 o'clock last night, putting out hot spots. There's no word yet on a potential cause.
The Thunder Bay Family Network hosted a town hall meeting this week to sound the alarm about an impending crisis in developmental services for people in northwestern Ontario.
Organizers say changes to the federal government's postgraduate work permit program will have a severe impact on the developmental disability workforce. Emmett Chilton reports.
The Thunder Bay Family Network hosted this meeting and called on the Federal Ministry of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship to rescind its decision to not include developmental service worker programs on the list of eligible programs under the postgrad work permit. Graduates of the DSW program are heavily relied upon to fill the many gaps for both agencies and families in northwestern Ontario. Network President Sharon Beck says the DSW program and the future workforce are in jeopardy from this decision.
With our geographic isolation and only having one college in close proximity to us with one DSW program, our concern is that there's a large majority of students in that program that are from the international community. So with them not being able to, in the future, have the 3-year work permit that goes along with coming in through that program, we're very concerned that students internationally are not going to choose to take the developmental services worker program. And we are very afraid that it will put the program's future in this community and across Ontario colleges in jeopardy.
With over 80% of student enrollment in the DSW program at Confederation College coming from the international community, Bach says that there is a high risk of losing this vital workforce in our region. If the program is discontinued, the community will lose the only thing locally that provides disability education and training. Bach says that the disability community was getting lost in the discussion and needs to be treated equally and recognized as an essential service.
But when we realized that there was no discussion about the developmental services worker programs being on that list, we became very concerned that the disability community was sort of getting lost in the discussion. And there's very much always been a lack of respect and support for this as a profession. And we wanted to highlight that as well, that this is a profession, it is an essential service, it is a huge gap in Ontario in terms of our workforce, just like what we have in schools and what we have in the healthcare system. So we need it to be treated equally as important as all those other areas.
Bach emphasizes the importance of continuing these conversations and advocacy efforts to have the decision overturned, noting the urgency due to the limited time available as work permits are issued in mid-January. Emma Chilton, TBT News.
The holiday season is now in full swing, but it can be a challenging time for many families.
That's why the Thunder Bay Christmas Cheer Fund has been doing its part by distributing gift hampers at the CLE, ensuring that those in need can still experience the joy of the season. Riley Cohen reports.
There's something about the holiday season that brings out the spirit of giving. The CLE Coliseum was buzzing with energy, packed with boxes of food, clothing, toys, and a heartwarming display of volunteers. Over 500 community members are coming together this week, giving their time to ensure that Christmas cheer hampers reach families who may need a little extra help this year.
I just think this is a great opportunity for people to get together and make sure that Thunder Bay is a very giving community and that everybody is going to benefit from donating their time or donating the gifts. So just a very, very good time for Merry Christmas for everybody.
Thanks to the Christmas cheer hampers, many families will have a Merry Christmas they might not have thought possible. Each hamper is tailored to the size of the family when they register, ensuring they get exactly what they need. Chair of the Christmas Cheer campaign, Jill Thompson, explains just how vital these essential gifts are for those who receive them.
Every hamper does get, I think what the biggest thing is they get the fresh items. So they get the turkey, they get the fresh loaves of bread, as well as the potatoes, the carrots, the apples, the things that are fresh that are good for families and for young children. Obviously the things like the zoodles and the craft dinner are always a fan favorite with the kids for sure.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of the Thunder Bay Christmas Cheer Fund, a milestone of generosity and community spirit. Hampers for the South Side were being handed out on Wednesday. North Side families can pick up theirs on Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Any family that hasn't registered yet still has time to do so.
Some folks have had challenges with registering, so if people didn't know what to do or haven't had a chance to register, please come down. Don't let your children down. We are here and we are willing to, especially with this labor disruption year with Canada Post, we're being a little bit more lenient and flexible with registration. So come down, call our office. People are here and taking calls, so calling our 807-622-2286 number, people will be answering the phones and we will take registrations. So come down.
Riley Cohen, TBT News.
The longtime organizer of the local Terry Fox Run is welcoming the news that the Bank of Canada will soon be putting the national icon on Canada's new $5 bills. The idea was first introduced in 2020, and several graphic artists across the country have been sharing their ideas of what the new bill could look like. One of them even has the Terry Fox lookout and the sleeping giant on the back. The Bank of Canada hasn't revealed what the actual version will look like yet. Fox will replace Sir Wilfrid Laurier, who will be moving to the $50 bill. Don Morrison has been chair of the local Terry Fox Run for the past 30 years. Worldwide, those fundraising runs and the Terry Fox Foundation have brought in more than $850 million for cancer research.
That's great news. Anytime anybody gets on a dollar bill or a currency, that's honoring them, and I think it gets reserved for people who have done something significant, and Terry Fox certainly has done that. He's iconic, and I think everybody in Canada knows who he is, so to me it's long overdue. I think it'll certainly help the fundraising component of the Terry Fox Run. Every time you pick up a $5 bill now, you're going to see his face, and that can't hurt.
Officials with the Bank of Canada say they hope when a Terry Fox fiver lands in the wallets and pockets of Canadians that they'll consider Terry's vision of eradicating cancer through research. It'll certainly be exciting to see him on the $5 bill, but anyone who went to the Terry Fox lookout today to see him, I'm sure, got a bit of a chill, as it was quite cold today with the wind.
Oh, it was very cold. Not exactly the most comfortable temperature out there, and we look at the daytime high. Well, we probably shouldn't say daytime. We'll say the high for the day of -6. Doesn't sound too bad, but that was at midnight. Temperatures have been dropping pretty steadily all day long. So we had a low of -13, but that was this afternoon, and with it came wind chills of -23. That's chilly. That's definitely chilly. The one positive note was we had lots of sunshine, but again, those northwest winds were gusting 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Now, throughout the region, you can see that colder air pushing in from the west. Temperatures have been dropping pretty steadily throughout northwestern Ontario, of course, with one outlier, Sault Ste. Marie. They've had snow and drifting snow all day today. Temperatures were hovering around the freezing mark pretty much overnight and through much of the day, and then around midday, you saw the temperatures start to fall. So they're currently at -5, which is the low for the day, but wind chills with that gusty, increasing northwest winds feels close to about -14 at this time. Actual temperatures around -14, -15 in Marathon, -16 in Greenstone, feels like -23. They had a little bit of snow to start, then some clearing, and now they're back into snow in the last couple of hours. As you head to the northwest towards Red Lake, they're at -22 and a wind chill of -30. That makes them definitely the coldest spot in the region, thus of this particular group. Fort Frances has lots of clear skies at this time. They have a current low for the day of -17 and a wind chill of -22. Here in the city of Thunder Bay, we will drop down to -21 overnight and a wind chill of -25. Yes, that is definitely below normal for this time of year. That's with just a few clouds. Here's the good news. It'll start out pretty gusty, up to 40 km, just like it was today, but as the evening progresses, the winds will taper off down to about 10 kilometers an hour, and that's going to make things a little bit more comfortable. So to look at the second half of the week, yes, there is a little bit of snow on the way, just a little bit. And there is going to be more sunshine, which is probably very good news for a lot of folks. However, that sunshine is going to come at quite the price, and the price is even colder temperatures on the way, which I don't think anybody really likes to hear after we had rain earlier in the week, so it has been very slippery. But if we can get through the end of the regular work week, I think people will be a little bit more festive as they head into the countdown to Christmas.
Okay, that's kind of the one week where I don't mind a little bit of the snow and the
You're
more intense
inside.
temperatures.
You've got
right?
your
Yeah.
hot mulled cider. You've got your
A little cocoa,
friends.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm excited already.
We have plans. We'll work it out later.
Yeah.
There we go. Thanks so much, Fiona. Now stick around, because after the break, as we have for the past 3 days, we're going to go over to Ottawa, where the power struggle continues within the Liberal government, as there is continued calls for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau to step down.
The Prime Minister is very committed to building a strong Canada. He's devoted his political life